Stick around to find out about my new piano course available at artmaster.com. These are effect pedals, guitar effect pedals usually used with an electric guitar to add a particular effect to the sound. But today I'm going to do something which is completely possible, but for some reason not done that often, which is rather than using these with electric guitar, using them with a piano, my Nord piano. I'll be taking the standard piano sound and running it through these different effect pedals. The particular effect pedals we have here are the Digitech Whammy pedal, digital whammy pedal, which effectively changes the pitch of what you're doing using this pedal. We also have the Big Muff fuzz pedal, and we also have a classic, the Vox Wah pedal as well. So let's dive in with the first one here, the Digitech digital whammy pedal. So as you can see there, what this pedal does is as you go from the open position to the closed position, it shifts up the pitch. You can change the amount by which it does that. It's currently set to 1 octave. So as I move up, it goes up an entire octave, which is quite a sort of musical, easy to deal with interval, because of course, when we're at the top and the bottom, we're dealing with the same chord. But if it was on a different interval, for example, a fifth, even though I'm playing a G here, now it's a D chord. Now that I've moved the pedal up, it's a D chord even though I'm playing a G. This is the pedal famously used by Rage Against the Machine's guitarist Tom Morello. It's also been used by many other guitarists, including Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead. Something I quite like about this pedal is just when it's activated, it slightly degrades the sound, but in a kind of desirable way. So what I'm playing here should sound like this, but with the pedal all the way up, it sounds a bit like a harpsichord. I quite like it. So my issue at the moment is I'm trying to add like subtle movements on the pedal, like just to duck the pitch down, but because it's set to an octave right now, it's quite a dramatic move, even when I move it just a tiny bit. So I'm gonna adjust the interval to a second, just a major second, a tone. So now when we're in the sort of up position like that, that's our normal sound. And when we have the pedal pushed down, it actually takes us down now a tone. So rather than pitching up, we're now pitching down. One of the interesting settings on this pedal is called Dive Bomb, where, well, that's unaffected, and then when you move the pedal, it just really dives down into, well, what is that, like 5, 6 octaves down? But you can get quite a cool sort of machine running out of batteries sort of sound. Next we have the Big Muff fuzz pedal, one of the earlier sort of distortion pedals. The Big Muff is a classic pedal that's been used by David Gilmour, Carlos Santana, Smashing Pumpkins, Sonic Youth, loads of different bands across the years have used this pedal, but I don't think any of them have used it on a keyboard, on a grand piano sound. So here's our normal sound, and here is it with the Big Muff. So So one of the issues you sort of have when you use distortion on a piano sound is you almost have too complex of a waveform coming in. We've got all these different notes, and we've also got this piano sound, this very bright piano sound that has lots of overtones. And what happens is when you go into a distortion, well, distortion really brings out the overtones in the sound, and we kind of wind up with too much, which gets all that sort of fuzziness at the top. It's a bit too much, right? So a way to deal with that, I'm just going to turn the tone up a bit. The way to deal with that, I find, is to try and only play one note at a time. So the best way to do that is to play a bit of left hand and then a bit of right hand. So rather than going together, which is quite muddy, right? I would go. So next we'll be diving in with the wah wah pedal, using that with the piano. But just before that, I'd like to tell you about my course, my 3 courses actually, which I've made with Artmaster. My 3 courses are on music theory, piano for beginners, and also piano 2, piano for intermediates. If you are a guitarist or a bassist or a drummer, but you've always wanted to get into the world of piano playing, I think my courses are actually a really great way to ease into that instrument, because we're not using notation, we're not using sheet music, we're just learning some classic songs at the piano, but with each song learning at the same time a essential technique, a technique that we can carry across to all of our piano playing. So if you're interested in checking out my courses, then do head to artmaster.com using the link down below in the description, and you can also use the promo code down below to get an exclusive discount. Thanks very much. Right, now onto our third pedal, the wah wah pedal by Vox. This is a classic pedal. It makes you think of Jimi Hendrix, but it's been used in loads of different music. So what a wah wah pedal does is that when it's in the kind of open position, when it's moved back, the sound has this muted quality because the envelope has cut out the high end, just leaving us with the lower end of the sound. And as we open it up to the top position, we have the opposite. We now have the high end of the sound, but the low end is now missing. And what that achieves is, as we move back and forth, we get this wah sound. Okay, we had to do it. I've now put all 3 pedals together. We've got, in order of the chain, we've got the Big Muff first, then the wah wah, and then the Digital Whammy pedal. So let's start with the wah wah off and just have the Big Muff and the whammy. So this is our clean piano tone. And then here comes the Big Muff. And then let's turn on the Digital Whammy. And, oh man, that's noisy. And then... Okay, now the Big Muff and the dive bomb effect on the whammy pedal. Okay, now we're going to try having all 3 pedals together. Now this is going to be pretty awkward because I've got both the whammy and the wah wah to think about, which even if we were playing it with a guitar would be quite an unusual thing to do. But now we have it with the piano, we have it with the Big Muff. I actually kind of like the combo of the whammy and the wah there, but the Big Muff is just making it sound so dirty. So let's just turn the Big Muff off for a minute and try wah and then whammy. So wah going into the whammy. Oh man, it's so hard to think about using 2 expression pedals at once. It's just really tricky, but I do like it. So that was me using effect pedals with the piano. If you can think of any other effect pedals that would be cool to try out with a keyboard, then do let me know in the comments. And remember, if you're interested in trying out my course, then follow the links down below in the description. But I'm going to leave you now with a piece played on piano with digital whammy pedal. Man,